right, hello everyone, back again. This is Thursday, and this is our last writing assignment, but this is going to be a big one. In this writing assignment, we are going to kind of sum up everything that we've been working on throughout the week. So we have been working on our characterizations, we've been working on annotating and analyzing the text, and we're kind of going to pull all of that stuff together to create our writing assignment. So what we're going to get into now is something called C.E.R. Now, C.E.R is a writing approach, and some of you have been taught different writing approaches up to this point, but this approach, I feel, is one that kind of makes writing simple. It's where you are able to use a text and go through the text using key elements to create your paragraphs. And as you can see right here, I have this chart, and this chart is also going to be in the bottom of your Google document. And this chart kind of spells out exactly what we're doing with C.E.R. Okay, this is a writing technique that you guys you'll learn it now, and believe me, this writing technique will carry you all the way through college. It's going to be something that you will find very valuable once you get to school. Okay, so first, the first thing that you do when you're using the C.E.R method is claim. Okay, that is the first thing that you're going to do when you are writing any type of writing, any type of discipline, whether you're writing an opinionated piece or an expository piece. It works across all lines of writing, and you will make a claim. Okay, claim is also kind of your your answer to the question. As you see here, it's the answer to the question in one complete sentence. So here, okay, wait a minute. All right, so here our claim equals, your claim equals a statement, okay? It's your answer. So your claim is a statement or an answer. Okay? It's also known as your topic sentence. Okay? And many of you have heard the word topic sentence before in your writing. When you were in maybe 5th grade, 6th grade, your teacher said, okay, you are going to write a topic sentence. And basically in your topic sentence or your claim is that you are basically restating the prompt. Okay? So that's what your claim is. Now, once you've made your claim, which is normally about a sentence, maybe 2, depending upon your writing style, then you state your evidence. Okay, so next you have your evidence. And your evidence is your proof. Okay, so your evidence is normally something that you're going to pull from your text, or your evidence can also be, a real life experience, but you normally will pull it from your text, and this is your proof. This is going to back up that topic sentence. Okay, so that's your proof. And when you're writing, you will need 2 pieces. Okay, 2 pieces of evidence. Okay, so we have our claim, and then we have our evidence that comes right below it. So claim, evidence. All right. So the next thing that you're going to have is your reasoning. R stands for reasoning. And your reasoning is to explain how the evidence you listed how it supports your claim. Okay? So you have your claim, you have your evidence, which backs up your claim, and then you'll have your reasoning. And your reasoning is supporting everything that you've said above that. Okay? So your reasoning is the explanation of your evidence. All right? Let's see. That's what I meant. Okay, so your explanation of your evidence. And those three components is what is going to make up your body, when you're writing. That is how you are going to create your bodies of writing. So you have your claim, which is typically one sentence, sometimes two. We'll say 1 to 2. All right? You will have your evidence. Now you need 2 pieces of evidence. So I'm going to say that is maybe 1 to, some of you might have a lot to say. So we'll say 1 to 4 sentences. And then your explanation of your evidence. And remember, this also supports your claim. All right? And that we are going to say 1 to 3 sentences, okay? Now, if you're if you're really into your writing and you have a lot to say, you will find that you're starting to put more into the CER component. All right, so that's how you're going to support your writing. So what you guys have all been doing is you've been reading Thank You, Ma'am, Langston Hughes. And you have gone through and you've picked out a lot of things. By now, you have gone through this piece of work so many times that you have a pretty good idea of your characters, the characterizations, just what happened in the story, how the setting contributed to it. And I think you could probably write a pretty good claim as to how you feel about that piece. Now, what you're going to have in this assignment is 2 prompts. Now, I'm going to let you pick which prompt you want to write about, okay? That is entirely up to you which prompt you want to write about. Okay, let me move this down because we don't need this anymore. So our first prompt is, can people ever really change? Well, that's a matter of opinion. And I think you probably have your own opinion as to that. And I'm sure that as soon as I asked that question, some of you had an answer right away. Okay? And that may be something that you have a strong opinion about, and you could easily write about it. You could say yes or no. You can say, this is the proof that I have for it, and this is my reasoning for what I say. Okay? So that is basically what you're going to do. And the second prompt, as I said, you can pick one or the other, is, does poverty cause people to lose their integrity? Now, when you're writing, I want you to make sure that you are pulling one piece of evidence from the text. Make sure you pull one from the text, and the other piece of evidence you pull from your real life. Because when you're writing, you want to make it personal to you. Okay? That is part of your connection. That's what we call a connection in our writing. So let's do a little example of this. And I will pick the first prompt. I'm not going to do a long writing here because I don't want to convolute anything that you guys may think of and what you may want to write. So, can people ever change? People change every day. Okay, so that's how I feel. I said yes. My answer to that was yes. People change every day. Now, I answered the prompt. The prompt said, can people ever really change? And although I didn't include the yes, I did say I made a statement. I made a statement that I stand by. That is my statement. People change every day. Now, I need 2 pieces of evidence. Okay? So, because I don't want to relate this back to the text, because I'm sure you guys can think about part of the text and come up with your own answer. So I'm not going to relate it back to the text, but I'll relate it to my own life. And I am going to think of something very simplistic, okay? So, relating to my own life. When I first moved to Texas, I didn't like it. I felt it was dry, hot, and quite frankly, boring. All right? So that's how I felt about it. Now I'm going to give you some evidence of how people change. Okay? As I spent more time here, I realized that I like the dry, hot weather. Okay? I've found oops. Uh-oh. Sometimes I can't spell, you guys. Lots of friends and organizations to join. And now I rather enjoy Texas. Okay? So, we'll make those corrections. Lots. Okay. All right, good thing for spell check, huh? So, now I rather enjoy it. Okay? So, those are I've stated my claim. I've stated how I felt. And I've given some evidence about what I was saying. Okay? Next, I need to have some reasoning. Okay? So, let's say, imagine being in cold, wet weather. This would be a drag. And I would, experience the warmth of the summer sun. It's great for my skin. It is. And that's why I love it. Okay, so that's my reasoning. That's my reasoning for why I have changed and why I like Texas. Okay, so I kind of write in a roundabout. I'm very descriptive. You guys don't necessarily have to write that way, but I do want you to make sure that you're stating a claim about people changing. If that's what you choose to write about, I want to make sure that you're giving some evidence, okay? Because in this, what I just wrote, I completely changed a feeling that I had, okay? And then I turned around and my reasoning for it was that I wanted to experience things. I wanted to experience the warmth and that the sun and the heat is good for me. So that is what turned me around. So that's my paragraph. It's not perfect. I wrote it off the top of my head. I like to prepare things, but I didn't this time. So what you guys are going to do is you are going to pick one of the prompts and you are going to relate your prompt back to the story that you read. And you're going to go through and you're going to answer one of these questions. Does poverty cause people to lose their integrity? Or can people ever really change? And I think that's it. All right. I want you guys to enjoy this lesson and get as much writing done as you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. Believe me, I'm not perfect. And this is all a learning and growing process for us. You know, this is a new skill. And believe me, this is only the second week of school. Over time, you guys will most certainly perfect this skill. All right. Have a good evening.